In the past few weeks, I've posted a few videos that could best be described as anti-Pierre Poilievre videos, content. And they've been well received. I've gotten literally thousands and thousands of comments, and there's a significant number of Canadians who agree with me. They're not comfortable with Poilievre and his approach to governing and the things he's suggesting and proposing. But it keeps coming back to the same thing. Canadians don't really know what to do. They know their vote's important, but they're not sure about their choices, and they're not sure which way to go and what to do about it. So I'd like to take a while and talk about that today, give you my thoughts on where we stand and what you should be looking for in 2025. So there are some Canadians who have it all figured out already. You know, whether it's Liberal or Conservative or NDP or one of the other parties, they know who they're going to vote for, and nothing that I say or anybody else says or does is going to change their mind. To those voters, I say, good luck, thank you. I haven't got much for you in this video. Please like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, all the best. To the rest of you, we've got things we can talk about. First of all, we have to understand and accept that politics is all about marketing, and that elections are great big marketing campaigns. And think about what marketing really is. It's someone trying to convince you to do something that you're inclined not to do. It's about getting you to buy one brand of car over another. It's getting you to spend money that you wouldn't have normally spent. It's getting you to pay more for one product over another. It's marketing. It's playing you for a sucker, to tell you the truth. And it's the same thing that politicians of all parties are doing to you, the voter. You know, look at the United States. You know, the job of a campaign is to convince you that every problem you've ever had in your life is a result of that person, the opposition. So how did Donald Trump pull off this amazing victory he did, beyond imagination, that he got reelected? Simple. He convinced Americans that every problem they had was a result of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You know, you got no job, Biden. You can't afford a house, Biden. You can't get a date, Biden. You know, every problem you could possibly have is caused by Joe Biden. And you know what? All those problems will disappear and be gone instantly if you vote for Trump. That's the goal of political campaigns, to convince you that they have the solution to all your life problems. Number one, all your problems are the result of that guy. Number two, they will all be gone and solved and fixed if you vote for this guy. That is politics 101, and that is you being played for a sucker. Of course, the reason marketing doesn't always work is because there's good marketing and bad marketing. And the good marketing is going to bury you in statistics. They're going to give you proof and evidence that what they're saying is correct. Now, the fact that most of that evidence is being interpreted in such a way as to only prove their point, and there could be no other conclusions drawn other than what they're saying is correct, that's where the art of politics comes in. And that's what they're so good at doing. And that's what you're being played for right now. Everything you're being presented is one-sided, distorted, to prove their case. And we'll look at a few examples of that right now. Perceptions of Justin Trudeau started to turn really negative in May 2023, after his first 8 years in power. If you look at the polls, he was not very popular. Look at this. 55% of Canadians disapproved of Justin Trudeau after 8 years. Wow. Only 40% approval. And it's only been reinforced since then. I mean, Pierre Poilievre keeps telling us he's the worst prime minister in history. Now, how did Canadians feel after 8 years of a Conservative government. When we had Stephen Harper as the Prime Minister, and he had that Pierre Poilievre as a Cabinet Minister. Yeah, he was part of the government. What did Canadians think of them after 8 years? Okay, 58% of Canadians disapproved of their government and their policies. We don't hear much about that today, do we? Now, let's go back further. Perhaps the biggest, most extreme example of this is another well-known Conservative in the early 90s, Brian Mulroney. When he left office, he was disapproved by 83% of Canadians were against him, disapproving of him and his government. We don't hear a lot about that. All we hear about is Justin Trudeau, Canadians don't approve of him. He's the worst Prime Minister ever. Let's get rid of him. So, once again, what numbers you look at and how you twist them. Now, I'm not suggesting in any way, shape, or form that anything the Conservatives are doing is wrong or false information. No, quite to the contrary. To tell you the truth, what they're doing is marketing, political marketing. To tell you the truth, some of the best I've ever seen. That's the reason they're so far ahead in the polls. They've done a brilliant job, and the Conservative Party and Pierre Poilievre are doing a really good job of presenting their case to the voters. What I want to make the point of is that it is political marketing. It is not nearly as simple as they would make it. They want you to believe it's a black and white choice. They want you to believe Canada was great before Justin Trudeau, and Canada will be great again as soon as you vote for Pierre Poilievre. Neither of those two statements are true. Facts and statistics will back that up. The reality of it is, each party has certain things that will help you and certain things that will hurt you. And it's important to distinguish between the two. It's important to hold the politicians to account for what their proposals are. Look, there's no secret that Pierre Poilievre has a program he has in mind where he is going to radically cut taxes and dramatically cut regulation of businesses and environmental regulation. There's no doubt that is going to bring a flood of investment dollars into Canada and a flurry of building, construction. Corporations, investors are going to love that. You're going to have Leary lining up to invest in Canada. But where does that money go? Is that going to help the young people in downtown Toronto get an apartment and afford to pay for it? Is that going to help the housewife in Saskatchewan pay for her groceries? No. My concern is that the wealth that's being created is not going to go to the people who need assistance, and it's going to increase disparity between the elite and the upper class and the average Canadian who's out there working. So, where does this leave us and you, the poor Canadian voter, trying to figure out who the heck to support? My advice, couple of things. Number one, demand answers from politicians. Do not accept slogans. Do not accept sound bites. Do not accept catchphrases. The economy doesn't work like that. They're doing it as a marketing ploy to trick you and to oversimplify things. When someone says they're going to cut the tax, great. What programs are you going to cut to cover that? Are you going to increase the deficit by that? When you say you're going to cut taxes, whose taxes are you going to cut? Are you going to cut cap gains taxes on investors? Are you going to cut taxes on real estate speculation? Or are you going to put more dollars in the working class people's pockets? Give us the answers and tell us what you're going to do. And don't say, we'll wait for the election to tell you. No, you know right now already. You're campaigning already. You're throwing your slogans out there already. Canadians deserve to know what it is you're proposing. To me, the best outcome of this, because it does appear we're headed for a Conservative government. We've had them before, and they've had some effect, to some good and some bad. What I'm hoping is that we do not get a majority conservative government. Because as I've outlined in other videos of mine, if Pierre Poilievre has a majority, that he gets carte blanche, he could make some dramatic, completely unexpected changes that Canadians do not want and will not put up with. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. Please stay tuned to the channel. I've got more stuff coming, and I really appreciate your help and your support. Please like the video, add your comments, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anybody you know out there, especially try to get to the young people. They seem to be missing out on what's going on. Thanks a lot and have a great week.